Alright, so first project of the day, sink was leaking, so gonna run into Home Depot. I'm at Home Depot now. Gonna run in and get replacement part. Probably just gonna get the whole kit and redo all the stuff underneath the sink, but just grabbing the replacements for this. And got the kit pretty easily, 20 something bucks. Has essentially all the parts you would ever need, as well. Alright, so made it home, got the kit. So we got this kit that we're going to use to replace most of all the hardware that's underneath there. We'll see if we end up having to cut anything. That's going to be the big question that's going to happen, but we'll see. Alright, we'll see if any of this ends up being visible. Let's get a little bit more light. Ultimate plan, I'm not going to replace this tube here, but that's pretty much everything else I can. Take a look and see, because I'll have to cut down this one a little bit to make it match. I think I do want to do that, so we'll get it all measured out once we get the pieces in there. But get that boy off. There's got to be a screw in to make that do. Be harder to see. Alright, so that's off. Pull here. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to run downstairs and I'm going to cut this pipe to be the same length. But let me check before I do that some of my other pipes that I got. See if I'm going to have to cut anything else matching everything up. Should have sink downspout P-trap. That's going to be the same size. Let's see what we got. Is that one there or there? That's going to be this one there. So that one I'll have to cut. So this one's gonna be good to go. This one will need to be cut once I get that piece off. Let me look at, so this is my replacement for this one. This one will have to be cut as well, so I'm gonna have to do some cutting, I guess. Wasn't really expecting to have to do cutting, but not a big deal. And I've got a couple of extra pieces in here that I don't think I'll need. I guess, do I want to redo? That's a shorter one of those. Okay, I don't need that one. And I won't need that because I don't have one of those. Okay. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to go downstairs and do some cutting. Let me go ahead and pull this stuff off because this we're gonna replace as well. Oh, actually I may not need to cut this one since it looks like it just goes all the way freaking down in there. Water coming out of the P-trap there. Because let me look and see. I don't think that one's going to be threaded. Yeah, so I won't have to cut that one. So that one's good. Alright, so all I got to do is take these two tubes downstairs to cut. So it's just these, and I'll just cut them to the exact same length. I may leave a little bit extra on there, but we'll cut them real quick and then we'll be back. So I got a slight change of plans because I was going to go down and cut it with the chop saw, but I realized I had my oscillating saw. So maybe, I don't know if you'll really be able to see anything. I'm gonna grab some paper towels. Mainly just because I do want to clean this out a little bit if I can. Not that I really can do that much, but that's just kind of the way it goes in plumbing stuff. So, all right, so then let's take a look at what kind of pressure fitting we had on this before, because it looks like this is just the standard. Yeah, so it's literally just that onto the P-trap. So what that's going to do is that's going to go in. Let me get my new rubber fittings here. So we slide this guy on, and we get our pressure fitting over. Slide it down because we know we're going to need to come down quite a bit at the very least. And then let me go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our P-trap seal on. Oh, hold on, that's what I'm forgetting. So let me turn you a little bit more this way. So I forgot to put on this one first, because that's where that screws into. And then I'm going to make sure it's the small side in, right? So let me double check. On this one, yeah, small side goes in. Really nice and dry down here. Actually, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to go get a different bowl, because what I then want to do is I want to run a whole bunch of water down here and see what we got and if we got anything. So let me grab another bowl real quick. What we're going to do is we're actually going to set inside this bowl. Set paper towel. That'll help us tell if there's anything dripping. So I'm going to just leave this in here. Let's run some water. From the disposal side first. Let's take a look and see if we got any dripping going on. It'll take a minute to fill the P-trap. Save us from some noxious fumes, but throw a bag out here and get all my old parts in it while I'm running. Let's see if that was. Yeah, I guess so. Just a little bit here. This little ring here was a replacement that I could have specifically stuck in there, now that I read it on the bag, but we'll just keep it if it were to start leaking. I've got some of the extra parts and such to be able to try to fiddle with that if it were to start leaking from there some other time. But again, I think that seal that was in there was pretty good. Alright, so we're looking good. Don't feel any wetness or anything. To be honest, now that I like dry fit everything, I think this tube may have been a little bit short. I cut it a little bit long when I recut it, but it still was a little bit short, so that could have been the ultimate cause. However, it's been like that for 25 years. Alright, looks like we're okay on that side. Go to the other side. Water. from this side, coming down through the P-trap. And of course, I touched with a wet finger, so there's a couple of slightly wet spots there now. But, I mean, I can feel the water flowing through it. Not seeing anything. Everything looks good and dry. I think this has it fixed, which is what we wanted. We'll see over time. I'm also kind of concerned. It does. So I am looking here. This was not what I was thinking of being a possible leak, but it almost looks like I might have water coming out here. Yeah. Well, that's annoying. So that's the actual sink basin where it's coming out of. So it's possible that that was the issue, not all the stuff I just replaced. Wonderful. Well, we'll take another look, but that was replacing at least these parts, and they look good at this point, so till next time. This is part 2 of this saga, I guess. So now that I've identified that ultimately it looks like my leak might have been coming from there. Don't know a lot about how these little sinks are in here. I replaced, I guess, the one. I guess is it leaking from all the way up there too? That's bad. Let's see if I can get this off. I'm trying to remember. I've done some bathroom sinks, but I've never had a kitchen sink. See what it looks like. So yeah, it's that's ugly. But let me pull this off. Oh, there wasn't freaking any. So I mean, I can tell what kind of part of the problem was. So at least when I've done stuff in sinks, you always are putting pipe dope around this seal. There was nothing there, so that was bare sink on sink. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we just need to put it back together with doing it the proper way, but we'll clean it off and see what happens. Alright, so after another trip to Home Depot, I have a replacement sink drain, which of course was like 20 bucks for this little piece. So, but hey, I'll get a new strainer. Yay. I did end up getting the exact same one that I had before. It was a little bit more expensive, but it had what I'm doing. So we just take this, we drop it on top of there, and we push. Now it'll get tightened down more when I actually hit it with the tools, but as you can see, I already have my overflow, which is what I want. So, alright, so we got that part of it. Let's go back underneath here. Light. Take our cup. I'm gonna have to clear out my pipe dope from this side before I get the cup on. I have not ever utilized this type of cup or seen it, so but it does make sense because clear it off so that it's going to have a give it a minute or two while I'm finishing cleaning up here. It's all trash. So. Bottom of that bag. Tube. You know, I start cleaning everything up, and what's going to happen is it's going to start leaking just about the time that I've got everything cleaned up, and I'm like, oh, it's good. Work. Let's get back down here and double check. Looks good from my perspective. I don't feel anything or see any drippage. Let's go ahead and release that water and just let it flow down now. Looks good to me. I do want to spin that a little bit that way. I can tell it's a little bit crooked. But all right, well, we'll keep the bowl under for a little bit just because, again, we're dealing with drainage stuff. So, 1 second, kill the light. And now we get to do all the cleanup, which is usually the part that I have issues.